This episode is presented to you by DraftKings. The crown is yours. Today we want to welcome, someone I was in college. He was younger than me, but he came to LA and just kind of took the scene over. I was admiring from afar what you and Q kind of started in that early 2000s in the LA scene. Talk to us about your start. Eat St. Louis has created some very talented basketball players, but you were one of the early ones. Talk to us about your upbringing and what that looked like.
East St. Louis born. I came up in a city where it's 89 blocks, like 3 different ways. East St. Louis is in Illinois. A lot of people don't know. St. Louis is Missouri, so we're a whole nother state. But I rep both sides because I went all around hooping with everybody. But when I came up, one of the motivating things for me, especially in basketball, my mom made me play basketball because I was always big, but I thought she was taking away my freedom. Like, after school, I'm playing with my friends and all that stuff. And then when she telling me to go to basketball practice, it's like after basketball practice, the street lights on, I can't come outside.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
over.
saying? The day's over. So that was like a struggle at first, but then I started playing, and then she drove school buses. So it's this famous coach in East St. Louis named Benny Lewis. He was the high school coach. He was the first black coach to win a state title in Illinois. He was the first coach to win 3 state titles in a row in Illinois. My mom always drove the field trip bus for their games. So I used to, ride on the bus, be right there sitting next to the coach when I was younger. And I used to go to them games back in the day, and I used to see them, and I always wanted to play for him. So as I got older and older, when I finally got a chance to go to high school, I went to Lincoln Senior High School, went to play with him. They closed down our school after my sophomore year. Where I'm from, 7th through 9th was junior high, and 10th through 12th was high
Ninth
school.
grade was junior high?
Yeah.
Damn.
So I only played 3 years of high school. So when I got to 10th grade, I went to Lincoln after they closed that school down. And then I went to our rival school because my coach decided to coach the last couple of my years. And that's how it all came about.
When did you realize that, like, shit, I might be able to do this for a living?
Probably after my 9th grade year. Because I was in junior high, so 9th grade I didn't play against high school guys. Our AAU coach where I met Q, he came from Chicago. He came down and he went to all the high schools, and the high schools was telling them like, yeah, it's this kid in junior high. He gonna probably be the best player from around here. But I was playing pro-am though. Like I wasn't even playing with kids my age for real. I was playing pro-am. So when he came down, guy from Chicago, slick talking, I'm looking at him like, man, I ain't messing with you. You know what I'm saying? And
Your high school was 10, 11, 12?
huh?
Your high school was 9, 10, 11, or 10, 11,
10,
12?
11,
10, 11, 12.
Yeah.
So when he came to my junior high, he was talking slick. I was like, yeah, I ain't really messing with you. He gave me his number and stuff, so I didn't give it to my mom because I was playing with like college and pros
Already.
like Anthony Bonner and Larry Hughes and them during the summer and stuff like that. So when I'm looking at him, I'm just thinking he's slick talking. But my teacher went to school with my mom, and she called my mom and told him about him. So she came to me and she was like, yeah, you're going to go and play in his spotlight. And I was like, for what?
Mhm.
Then my mom she had a heart attack. So as she had a heart attack, she had the surgery. She woke up out the surgery. She was like, go to the spotlight. Made my cousin take me to the spotlight. That's where I met Q now. And the rest is history. I started playing with him. Started playing with they just switched over from Adidas to Nike. And after I played with him, played my first tournament, they was like, I'm ranked number 3 in the nation as a sophomore.
What was your first impression of Q? Because Q was a monster from early on.
It really wasn't just Q. It was like they whole team because they was like that year, that summer, they only lost 1 game the whole summer. Like they played like 10 tournaments, Peace Jam, all them big time tournaments. They lost 1 game. Like it really wasn't him. It was more of the team because 3 or 4 of them guys that played on the AAU team, they was on his high school team.
Okay. He went to what? Whitney Young?
He went to Whitney Young.
Yeah.
That's why I almost went to.
Okay.
But I didn't want to go all the way to Chicago to play with them. But yeah, it was more of his team. But Q stuck out more to me because he was the one that was the McDonald All-American. He was the one that was going through the phase that I was gonna probably have to go to my senior year.
Mm-hmm.
So I was really watching him real close and seeing like
Is he
how
2
was
years older
doing.
than you?
Yeah, he
Yeah.
was a senior. He was about to be a senior when I was about to be a sophomore.
Okay.
So I was watching him a lot. So watching his journey from when he decided to go to DePaul, when he made All State, when he was runner up to Mr. Basketball. They won state that year, my sophomore year, and watching them go to McDonald's. So, you know, that was just like the blueprint. I started really getting into what was going on because all I knew was like pro-am. Like that was the level I was playing in. I was playing pro-am since I was in 7th grade.
Mm.
So I
So-
was already playing with adults and stuff before
Grown
I was
ass
really
man,
rocking
yeah.
with the high school kids.
As you kind of start progressing through high school, and like you said, you jump on the scene as a sophomore, you're number 3 in your class. As you continue to go through your junior, senior year, what was it? Was college ever come in the picture, or you wanted to make that jump? And if you wanted to make that jump, what was the reason why?
No, I didn't think about making a jump. I committed early. I committed before my senior year. I committed in November to St. John's. I committed with Mike Jarvis. I was following Omar Cook for real.
Okay.
I always wanted to play with a
real
dope
point
point
guard.
guard that was like a fast purse type point guard. So I was following Omar Cook. He wanted to go to North Carolina, but North Carolina chose Adam Boone over him. And when they did that, he decided to go to St. John's. I went on the visit. That was the first time I met Jay-Z on the visit. I went Midnight Madness. You know what I'm saying?
And Jay was there?
Midnight Madness.
Yeah, that used to be the
he
shit.
was hosting it. So
Jay-Z was?
yeah,
That's
Jay-Z was
crazy.
hosting it. So that was the first time I met Jay. And he committed, so I committed early.
You was
And rode with him, which I felt it was a good commitment because he led the nation in assists his freshman year.
Yep.
So yeah, I went with Mike Jarvis. My dream school was Georgetown, but John Thompson, he retired right before I came out.
So what made you decide to decommit and put your name in the draft?
Mike Jarvis and my AAU coach came to me and was like saying that you top 5, top 10. Cause I told them they was mentioning it to me, but you know, I'm from the hood. I don't believe in it until I actually see it. You know what I'm saying? So when they was telling me this, I told them I was like, yeah, only way I jump if I go lottery, which lottery was top 12. Cause I just seen Rashard Lewis slip in the draft and how him and his family was looking. I was like, yeah, I ain't even gonna play with that. So when they was telling me, and Mike Jarvis, you know, he could have been selfish or not told me nothing. He was keeping it real with me, like, yeah, they talking about you top 5, top 10. Then I went on like 2 workouts, and they was like, yeah, you top 3, top 5.
Time to go.
Yeah, it was out.
I've been to East St. Louis with you, and I know how hard it is to come from there. I seen it. You know what I mean? It ain't too much positive stuff going on from there. So I commend you for, you know, continuing to go through the ups and downs. I know what you went through going up to come out, but what made you choose to come out of high school?
Just the grind of everything. Like me and my mom is the youngest child out of all my grandmother kids, but I stayed in the house basically my whole life with my grandma and my granddad. I was like the only kid, you know, cousin or whatever in the family that grew up with my grandmama and granddad is in the house. So I just seen the struggle and, you know, seeing what we was going through and so forth on. And like, once they kind of reassured me that I can go lottery, that they kind of confirm it, it was like, that's like $4 million that you passing up on just to go to college. They kind of just put it in me, which I was very patient. My mom was very stern. She was like, man, we ain't taking nothing from nobody. You don't want to owe nobody nothing. So I felt like I was earning everything that I was getting, and I was killing everything. Like I killed the McDonald's game. I killed the USA game. Like I was one kind of that hybrid from KG. You know what I'm saying? KG was doing more of the power forward thing, but I was the hybrid that was dribbling and playing all the positions, guarding all the positions. So I felt like how people was talking to me like I was a unique player. And Mike even said like, yeah, if I was drafting somebody number 1, I'd draft him. Which I was going to Jordan camp every summer. Like for 2 weeks, kind of getting that from him. You know what I'm saying? So it was just like a no-brainer once they kind of laid it out for me, I was being patient with it. I wasn't trying to, like, yeah, I'm going out of high school. I never mentioned it. Never said it. I just let everybody else say it. And it just kind of came to fruition.
You ended up going number 3 behind Kenyon Martin and Stromile Swift.
Yep.
I think that was in 2000 draft. That was actually my first year in the league because we played in the rookie all-star game together.
Yeah.
Coming into that year, how did you feel? Did you think you would go higher than 3, or was 3 right where you want to be?
Yeah, at the draft, they told me it was a 50-50 chance that I can go number 1 between me and Kenyon because Kenyon broke his leg.
Yeah.
Which, you know, I was going to St. Louis U games all the time, especially when they played Cincinnati. Cincinnati, they was all in the USA conference.
He was a fucking monster too.
But Kenyon's senior year, like, I think if he didn't get hurt, it wouldn't even been a question. He was gonna be number 1 because
That let you know how good he was. Though broke his leg and still went number 1.
But also too, he was one of those rare guys that went 4 years too.
Yeah.
Like he was good, but he went all to college 4 years.
Yeah, so his senior year, I watched him his whole senior year. Like, he deserved to be number 1, but because he got hurt, they questioned, you know, whether he was going to be healthy enough or whether he was going to come back or be right. So it was a 50-50 chance there. Then Vancouver was number 2, and my mom was like, nah, my son ain't going to no Vancouver. So it wasn't no question. So Steve Francis just got picked by Vancouver, and he refused to go. So with my mom saying that, they didn't even play with it. You know what I'm saying? And the Clippers, I never worked out for the Clippers.
Yeah. Oh, really?
I really wasn't planning. Nobody was planning on going to the Clippers. I thought I was gonna get picked by the Bulls. Me and Jerry Cross didn't have too many good meetings, but they still was like, yeah, we still ain't gonna pass up on you. It was a thing about me wearing braids that we kind of had a problem with, me and my mom. You know, my mom was a big Bulls fan, you know, coming from Illinois. And she just asked him, like, man, you let a guy wear color in his hair, but you can't let my child wear braids. She didn't want me to go there, but they said they still was going to pick me. So I thought I was going to the Bulls, where Pfizer got picked up.
Yeah.
But I wanted to go to the Rockets, though. I loved Rudy T. I went down there.
ISO ball would have been right there for you.
I wanted to go to the Rockets.
Yeah.
What's that culture shock, though, coming from the neighborhood you grew up in and you get thrown into L.A. as, 17 years old, right?
Yeah.
What was that like?
It was like a whole nother world. You know, LA is like I wasn't used to that much traffic. I wasn't used to that many people being around, how it moved around. It was different. You know, that was the first time being in LA, palm trees, all that stuff. I realized LA is not as hot as, you know, you see on TV. You know, it get cool out there. And it rain in Southern California.
Tony live?
Yeah, so realized a lot of things.
That's what they tell me.
But it was cool because it wasn't like I was getting thrown in the fire as a Laker. You know what I'm saying? Because the Lakers ran the town. It was like earning it. And what kind of relaxed me a lot, like Keon, Corey,
young
and
team,
Q,
real young team,
was all with me.
Lamar.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I knew all them guys. Like, I remember playing against Corey in AAU, running through past Keon. Like, all us kind of knew each other from the AAU circuit over the years. So, you know, it just made it an easier transition for me.
I mean, you went to a very, very, very young team. And like you said, Lakers kind of ran the LA side of it, but you guys had a young, exciting team that although you guys didn't win a ton of games, your guys' style and flair was able to kind of captivate the NBA world. So what is that kind of going like? Again, the team wasn't very good, but you guys were kind of becoming stars within that. So what was that transition like for you? Because you were still a teenager.
Yeah, I think we became stars because we was more visible and people can touch us more. Like,
y'all was in the streets.
I was going to the Westchester games and Crenshaw games. We was going, like, we was all in the mall all the time.
Fox Hills.
Yeah, we was going to every event. We was on different campuses. You know what I'm saying?
Y'all was working after work?
Yeah, we was, like, we had energy. Like, we was moving around LA, and we was, like, our cars made us stand out. Like, I had a Escalade on them gold D's, 100 spoke. And they was like, man, look at that country boy, just riding through it. So it was different when we came out here.
Y'all was shopping with Farouk?
Huh?
You shot
Yeah,
with
we
Farouk?
shot. You know, everybody shot with Farouk. You know
Shout
what
out
I'm saying?
Farouk.
Everybody shot with Farouk. Mess with Dave, all them. You know what I'm saying? It was just different. We was more touchable, but you know, a lot of people be misconstruing it. We was the youngest team ever. Like before we got there, they won 17 games out of 82. Our first year, we won 31. Our second year, we won like 39-40. We was one game out of the playoffs. So I know they be like, yeah, we got our ass kicked. We really wasn't getting our ass kicked. Like it wasn't no cakewalk. We really wasn't getting blown out by teams and all that stuff. Like every year we beat the Lakers. Like we was really progressing, being the youngest team ever assembled. You know what I'm saying? And all our guys are so young. So I know they be like, yeah, they was getting their ass kicked. We really wasn't.
Nah, y'all was in it.
We was coming.
Y'all
you know
was
what I'm
in the
saying? I
mix.
feel like the second year, only reason we didn't make the playoffs because that was John Stockton and Karl Malone really last year with Utah. That was the team that we posed to beat. We had the last 2 games against them in the regular season, and they beat us in LA and in Utah. But I ain't gonna say nothing about the ref, but we knew what it was.
You already know.
You know what I'm saying? We
You
knew what
already
it
know.
was. But we posed to be in there, and we would have played the Lakers the first round. That's what everybody was talking about. We just had to win one of them games.
That's it.
But they won both of them, and they wound up being the AC, play the Lakers.
You don't really know no better because obviously it's your first couple years in the league, but the Clippers weren't the Clippers that we are today as far as ownership and management and the way shit is supposed to be ran. Y'all used to practice at South by Southwest with no real locker room. You had to keep the doors open so niggas didn't rob your cars out in the parking lot. Like
we had to go home and shower.
Yeah, you couldn't even shower. Like the shit was crazy. You couldn't even shower after practice. But what was that like? But although you don't know any better and you guys are progressing, it's not necessarily the real NBA at that time.
Yeah, it really kept us hungry. It was just like we was hungry. Like it really kept us in the mode of we want to prove ourselves to the NBA because we going to Dallas and going to different places and seeing what they got, and we were like, man, we don't got that. We still we in the league. We playing against them, but this is what we want. So it was just part of the grind. They had a grind team. Because, like I say, the year before we got there, that's when the stuff with Keith Klaus happened.
Oh, that's when
like
you got
a lot
beat
of
up,
guys they just revamped the team. They had DA.
You got jumped.
Yeah, they had DA. They had Big Mo Taylor. They had a bunch of guys. That only guy they had left on that team was Derek Strong. You know what I'm saying? They kind of revamped the whole squad. So, and the bad look of that, they kind of, they showed us that to show us like we don't want y'all to do that, but we was everywhere, like
enjoying.
Backyard barbecuing, like in Inglewood, we was doing everything.
I was out there living. Yeah. And you got any?
Jesus.
God damn, bro. You okay over there?
Man, this is crazy, man. These girls won't stop hitting my phone, bro.
I thought you just said you was dry a couple weeks ago.
Well, man, I've been using these Rose Sparks, man, and I guess the word is out on me, man.
Is it?
Yeah, man.
Because last thing I heard, you got a bad case. That's why you got to shave your facial hair.
Nah, no more flatlining, baby boy.
You're back.
I'm back, man.
Man, I might need to try these. Like, what's the process with them?
You put one of the lozenges under your tongue, man, and on average, it's 15 minutes, man. And you ready to go. And let me tell you, bro, it works, bro.
Looks like you're confident. Everything is going good with you.
Absolutely, bro. And the ladies are super satisfied.
Are they?
Man. Come on, man.
You're back, huh? You ain't been back. You ain't really been back since like 98, 99.
Oh,
though.
man, come on, don't do me like that, man. I'm back. I'm current right now.
Yeah, up
it's
there.
all about getting back in the game.
You feeling good?
Absolutely, man. I had the flat tires, man, and now I'm burning rubber.
Yeah. Are you using rubber, though?
Good Lord. Well, at my age, man, you're not supposed to, but I'm still doing it, baby boy. Let me tell you, it's part of my budget now.
Well, congratulations, man. I'm glad you're back in the game.
I appreciate it. I really do.
No doubt.
If prescribed, new sexual health patients get $15 off Sparks for your first order on a recurring plan. Connect with your provider at ro.co/smoke to find out if prescriptions of Rose Sparks is right for you. That's ro.co/smoke for $15 off your first order.
I love going to the movies. I'm hyped about the new Mission Impossible movie. It's one of the few franchises that keeps getting better and better every movie. Mission Impossible, The Final Reckoning, has some of the craziest and most dangerous stunt sequences ever, making it the biggest practical action movie ever made. Tom Cruise is a G. Facts. I'm excited to see the reunion of the team with the incredible global cast. It's the best and biggest mission yet and the most fun you will have at the theaters this summer. Check out Mission Impossible in theaters May 23rd.
This episode is brought to you by Boost Mobile.
Boost Mobile is now a legit nationwide 5G network. I know we stay joking, but let me take a second to put on my serious voice. Because this isn't a joking matter. Me personally, I would never joke about a 5G network that has invested billions in building 5G towers across the country.
Me neither.
Not even once.
Me neither.
Feel me?
Boost Mobile is now a legit nationwide 5G network and also provides coverage across 99% of America. Seriously. Visit boostmobile.com or your nearest Boost Mobile store for more information.
The Boost Mobile network together with our roaming partners covers 99% of the U.S. population. 5G speeds not available in all areas. What up, world? It's your boy Stak 5. You know, I'm one of the freshest ever. This episode is brought to you by StockX, my people. You know I like shoes, man. I've been a Jordan guy for a while, but I am a 4 guy. Y'all know the spikes and the 4s are my thing. Nobody rocks the 4s and the spikes like I do. And since we partnered with StockX, they've been looking out for me a lot, man, giving me all the fresh stuff before they come out. So I think I got a fresh pair that y'all should pick up. Go to StockX and pick up when they getting ready to drop, but you know they always bless us first. So let's see what these are. Being that I am the 4 god, let's see. You gotta see the box gotta be right, the packaging gotta be right. Oh yes, sir. OG classic, cements, cement 4s, white gray. You gotta have these classic cement. Of course, you know, you wanna make sure it's official, StockX. You gotta have these, man. Fresh pair, always one when I was a kid I had to have when they came out. And every year when they drop, I gotta make sure I have them, but now StockX looking out for me. So go get yours, they about to drop. Jordan 4 cement, StockX. Now you know.
And you got any Donald Sterling stories?
Not really, like, you know, me and Q kind of felt he was weird. So, you know, we kind of kept our distance. You know, the white party, we'll walk in there about 15 minutes, and soon as we shake everybody's hand and kiss the baby, we was out.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So we really didn't. I think one of the weirdest things that he always used to do was just come in the locker room after
With
the game
people,
with
stare at
guys
you.
like half naked and kind of give you that uncomfortable type feel or look. You know what I'm saying? Like that's just, you know what I'm saying? That's probably the creepiest thing that he was doing. But you know, me and Q kind of, you know, we kids, you know, we used to talk about him, joke about him, kind of making fun of him, even though he the man that's running everything around here.
Get
So,
your ass up out here until we
Yeah,
get
we
dressed,
used
bro.
to-
Get your ass up out here.
you know, make fun, you know, because Corey was the guy. Corey was the guy that was, you know, he looked like an action
corporate,
figure.
yeah.
Like you could draw him. So he was the one that he really
Hey,
was looking
till
at.
this
like-
day, he still look like
yeah,
that.
so he ain't never really met. I was sticks and bones. He really wasn't looking at me like that.
You became a part of the Jordan brand. Give us your introduction to MJ and how that Jordan brand deal came about.
So the summer, like I was telling you, I haven't played high school ball yet. After 9th grade, I got with Q and the AAU team from Larry Butler, the Illinois Warriors. They just switched over to Nike. So, you know, I'm a new hot commodity, came out of nowhere. My name in the streets is Smith, you know what I'm saying, and all that stuff. So they invited me to Jordan camp in Santa Barbara. So, you know, I went to Jordan camp in Santa Barbara. We out there for 2 weeks. They gave us a per diem check and all that stuff. So, you know, I went out there and hooping. Afterwards, after the camp, you know, we'll hoop with Mike, and
Yeah.
Mike could get out there and so forth on. So the first day, I played against Mike, and then he just like, he killed me. Like everybody was kind of scared to walk up on him. So I was like, nah, I'll guard him. You know what I'm saying? So I went and guarded him, and he killed me. I blocked the shot a couple of times, but he killed me. After that, he chose me to be on his team every day after that for the next 2 weeks. Like he liked the way I play and shit. We kicked Q and them ass for like 2 weeks. You know what I'm saying? Because Q and them was like the college guys. You know what I'm saying? Because he'll put all the college guys on, then he'll grab some of the high school guys and a few of the college guys. So we kicked Q and them ass for like 2 weeks. That was my introduction to him. Like I remember I seen him. He looked like he was just glowing. Like he had, you know what I'm saying? Like Bruce Leroy glowing. I'm talking about. He just glowing. I
minus the curl.
I remember calling my mom, and she was like, yeah, so how was Michael Jordan? I was like, man, he cussed like us. And she was like, what? I was like, yeah, he cussed like us. He be saying shit, fuck, all that shit. I'm talking about he just cussed. She said, boy, for real? I said, yeah. I couldn't believe he cussed because it's MJ. Like, he talked like us. But after that, I started going to the camp every summer. And even when we got drafted, we went to the camp. But me and Q showed up after we got drafted. We showed up to Santa Barbara. We had nothing but and1 gear. Cause remember, and1 was just trying to get any guys to get. So we had nothing but and1 gear. So we came out there the first day with the and1 gear.
Mike wasn't having that.
And Mike looked. He was like,
Brother, what is that? Ugh.
He was like, what y'all got on? I was like, he was like, I thought y'all was Nike guy. And we was like, yeah, we reached out to Nike. Nike really wasn't fucking with us like that. So he was like, all right, I'm gonna make a few calls for y'all. So, went through the day, everything was good. We woke up that morning, our agent called, was like, man, what happened? He was like, what you talking about? I just got 2 contracts from y'all to be signed with Jordan, and Nike Nike gonna pay y'all, but y'all under Jordan. We like, what? Nah, that can't be true. Next thing you know, we get a knock on the door. It's like 4 boxes. Damn. Full of Jordan gear. And after that, we was in.
The rest is history. What was your favorite part? I mean, you still Jordan to this day. What was your favorite part about kind of being into that fraternity?
Man, just growing up watching Mike and, being an Illinois kid and always dreamed of playing with the Bulls and doing all that stuff and just coming up under Mike. Like, we watched Mike 82 games on WGN. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? We watched every single game. It wasn't a regional thing for us. You know what I'm saying? So just being in his presence, to be a part of him, get him to rub some of that stuff off on us, man, it's always been a blessing, and, we really appreciate it. What's better, like, folks done died where I'm from over Jordans.
We couldn't afford them growing up.
You know what I'm saying? Like, a lot of stuff happens over Jordan. Jordan is in the black community, is a shoe that's just golden to us. You know what I'm saying? So to be representing that, it kind of just added the flavor of the culture to us. You know what I'm saying? That's like now guys wearing Jordans, you know what I'm saying, wearing the Jordans, they start wearing our jerseys. It just helped us kind of move into that iconic era where, we up there with the guys who selling the jersey. Like, my jersey was top 5 the first 2 years in the league. You know what I'm saying? Like, stuff like that. You start seeing your jersey all on videos and stuff like that. So I feel like Jordan had something to do with that, because Jordan is like our culture in the black community.
What was the outside feeling? Obviously, on the court, you guys are starting to come together as a very young team, but off the court, y'all are popping. Y'all on the cover of Slam. You guys are in movies. You guys are at every premiere. There's so much to do, because I'm in college. I'm at UCLA at this time, and we're all the same age, and I'm seeing you guys everywhere. Yeah. Movies, covers, billboards. I mean, what was that like for you? I mean, a kid from, East St. Louis, and now you on the biggest stage in Hollywood.
Oh, it was real different. Like, we started getting folks that really rock with us that we didn't know. We started getting the streets. Like, the Lakers kind of run the land. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But we started really getting the street, the grassroots guys, the folks, even they know they was Laker fan, they appreciate how hard and how we played. Like, we was exciting, a whole lot of dunking and celebrating. I remember when we really started celebrating a lot after everything we do, folks wasn't too happy about that. Like, the league was so old school that they didn't really appreciate guys celebrating or they felt like it was showboating and all that stuff. I remember Jerry Sloan, Deshaun Stevens used to always tell us about Jerry Sloan, how he used to talk about us. Like, we don't want them to be out there doing that, because most of the time if we doing that means we kicking y'all ass. You know what I'm saying? That we bumping our head and stuff. So it was just a blessing to just see how the culture kind of embraced us. Not only the culture, but Slam Magazine, you know what I'm saying? We did the first reality show on ESPN, you know what I'm saying, the LA Hoops. Just all that, like I was just saying, the videos, the rap videos, our name in the rap songs, like, that was all a blessing. And like I said, none of us is all-stars. Like, even Lamar, which he should have probably made an all-star game before, but none of us was ever an all-star. None of us probably would never be a Hall of Famer. But, we embraced in the culture so deep.
And we respected by our peers too.
Yeah. If you can't get all the accolades and the individual awards, like, that's one of the biggest awards you can get by your peers respecting what you're doing.
Facts.
I mean, that's even for me, that's even with Jordan. You know what I'm saying? Like, for him to want us to wear his brand for the rest of our life, and we didn't get the props and, the accolades that we thought we should deserve from playing basketball, I think that's like a trophy to me too. You know what I'm saying? That's like a trophy to us to be able to get boxes from the best player that ever played the game.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I don't need a trophy. Let me just get a box.
Like,
I just want a box. Fuck the
You
trophies.
get free shoes.
From you sometimes.
Yeah, but shit, it's at the point now, if I go any place and I don't got Jordan or anything on, like, they be disappointed.
Yeah.
I mean,
They hate you wearing anything
I had
else.
some Yeezys on. I went to Milwaukee. I had to get them red Yeezys. And I went to Milwaukee and I was at the little celebrity game and I had my red Yeezys on and he was like, man, I came here strictly to see you put mics on, have some mics on. So now they'd be disappointed if I don't wear Jordan. Even if they kick me out, it's like, man, y'all gonna make me wear Jordan.
Yeah, I had to get permission for the Iverson game. Remember? Yeah. I don't think did you put them on?
What?
For the Iverson game?
Nah.
You didn't even put them on for the Iverson game?
Nah.
Yeah.
Loyal to the soil.
LeBron's rookie year.
Yeah.
On the Cavs from LeBron rookie season, you was part of the infamous video dissing Bron.
Yeah. That was a diss.
I don't think you can really just bring a high school player in and really just think your team gonna really turn around like that. If he come, you know what I'm saying, he can just hop on our bandwagon and hopefully we can do something big.
I mean, saying he wasn't ready. Low-key hate. It was low-key hating.
It wasn't.
Okay, well, let's talk about it.
LeBron is a straight out of high school guy. So, if you take, if you know anything about these cameras and interviews, you can take certain clips or certain answers and you can clip it to make it look like something.
Of course.
But what really happened was I was defending LeBron.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm a country boy and I didn't have the proper teaching of how to talk in an interview.
But you came out of high school and you spoke from that.
So probably the words that I use probably sound that way. Mm-hmm. But the all actuality is I was really defending him. You know what I'm saying? We on a team where the owner was a blind man. You know what I'm saying? Gordon Gunn, he couldn't do nothing but hear a game, so he couldn't really see what really was going on until the next year where we had a new owner. So when they asking these questions, they on purposely trying to lose this season to get LeBron.
Okay.
So the rest of the guys was, they felt some kind of way, but I knew LeBron. LeBron used to come over my house. I'm at Thanksgiving dinner that year with LeBron. Like, I'm hooping with LeBron. This is my guy. You know what I'm saying? His locker specifically got put next to mine because we have that relationship. And mind you, that interview was the year before he got there. So if he felt that kind of way that I was talking about him like that,
came with different energy.
we would never have been as close as what we is. But how they edited it and how they said it is what it is. I don't really get into all that, but I know I was defending him.
I think you were speaking from the experiences of being getting drafted out of high school.
To be real with you, it's never been a guy like that, especially out of high school. It's never been a guy that you put that much expectations on to just give a franchise to and just say he finna turn it around immediately like that. So I'm like, nah, you ain't finna do my guy like that. You ain't finna put that pressure on him like that. So I was really defending him. But like I say, country boy, didn't get the proper media training. So, words might have sound different to y'all than it did to me.
Yeah, if you read the quote, it ain't really hate.
Because shit, I thought it was the same shit was finna happen the year before. So, like, it was crazy to get, you know what I'm saying? I never lost this much a day in my life. Mm-hmm. I just got drafted to the team that was the worst team in the NBA, then get traded to the worst team in the NBA. So, what's going on right there this year? I'm like, nah, y'all ain't finna put all these expectations on my boy, and I'm looking at us getting our ass kicked every day. We won 17 games out of 82.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's crazy.
You know what I'm saying? Nah, y'all ain't finna do my guy like that. He's straight out of high school. I see him and his mama on a regular basis. I'm at LeBron games holding the fat head up.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Or the fan signs with his face. Like, I went to his game was more packed than ours.
Yeah.
Like, so, and I was the only Cavalier that was at his games or had that relationship with him. Mm-hmm. Like, even with Rich Paul. Rich Paul was DeJuan Wagner homeboy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But Rich introduced me to LeBron.
Yeah.
And ever since then, we was cool. I played summer league. I'm 4 years in the league. I played summer league strictly because LeBron came and played, because we had a relationship like that.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't, 4 years in the league and you've been playing. I shouldn't have been at summer league.
Right.
But I played summer league. I went to Orlando and Boston with them to play summer league. Because it was me, him, Boozer, Big Sagana Job, DeJuan Wagner.
Mm-hmm.
It was like, shit, I need to be a part of this. Y'all finna kill this something. And I'm 4 years in.
Yeah.
But, it is what it is.
Let's switch gears. Talk about mental health. You struggle with depression and poverty after his retirement, or lost his fortune through bad business deals.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of this stuff I know about. It's just we all go through stuff after retire, try to figure out our identity.
Yeah.
A lot of stuff that people say that you went through, a lot of it wasn't true. I know you personally, a lot of stuff we went through together.
Yeah.
Just going through the ups and downs, man, of losing moms, trying to figure out where we going, after basketball, the alcohol stuff. Just talk about, dealing with mental health and the struggles of trying to figure things out along with dealing with loss.
Yeah, I, coming out of high school, playing basketball since 5th grade, I never really had no problem. Everything has been,
Lined up for you.
great.
Mm-hmm.
Everything has been right. So at the end of my career, knee injury, I started seeing what the other guys see, trying to come on the team and try to make a team. Because remember, I came with the Bobcats.
Yeah.
Try to make a team, and you're not the favorite on the team. I never really been in that position. But after it was kind of felt in me that I can't really move my knees or move the way that I really want to move, I knew I had to retire. After I had to retire, as soon as I retired, my grandfather passed away. Then my grandmother passed away. Then my mama passed away.
Mm-hmm.
So these are the 3 people in the house that I grew up with my whole life. I don't got no brothers and sisters. My homeboys, a few of my homeboys are my brothers.
Shout out Bird.
So I'm the only child. So everybody that I grew up in the house with passed away. So losing my career is something that's the only thing I know is basketball. Then losing the 3 most important people in my life. Because like when I lost my granddaddy, it didn't hurt as bad because I still had my grandmama and my mom. Then I lost my grandmama. I felt it a little bit more, but I still had my mom. So then when I lost my mom, it was like,
You shut down.
yeah.
I was worried about you.
It's just, yeah, I tried to keep myself away from good people because I didn't want to treat good people in my life the wrong way of how I felt.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? I was like mad at the world. But then I didn't know about depression or anxiety or so forth on like that because I never been through nothing like that. I never thought that was real. Like when somebody say they have an anxiety attack or they have anxiety, I'm like, man, you bullshit.
Smoke
like,
one.
That ain't real.
Mm-hmm.
Until I started experiencing it myself. So, that it was like 8 years that I just kind of shut down on the world, like completely. Like friends, family, everybody. Because I was so angry at the world. You know what I'm saying? Like my mom died of cancer. I couldn't blame it on the person.
Yeah.
I couldn't say this person shot my mama or did something to my mama. It was like an invisible thing I was mad at. And then, you get in that mode, you start seeing red, you can start getting in trouble every which way. So that's when I went through everything. And then my kids made me kind of like get out of them 7 to 8 years. I was just thinking about, man, I gotta get back out here and do something for my kids, to leave my kids something. Because how hard the world is.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it's hard to live in this world and accomplish something by yourself.
Right.
Let alone, with somebody. So just try to get back out here and just try to give them something I can leave them, kind of give them the knowledge that I know, the ups and downs, and, kind of keep it real with them. And they kind of thinking about them as I was going through depression and all that stuff kind of made me get up out of it.
We're happy you found that median and were able to pull yourself out, because a lot of people don't pull, especially, you lost, your career ends short, and then you lose the 3 most important people. A lot of people don't make it out of the situation you made it out of.
And that ain't even a half, man. Like, there's a lot of stuff we can't talk about. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? That ain't even a half, bro.
Yeah.
I wanna backpedal a little bit
We
because you
finished
thought
some real shit.
2005. You think you're getting a simple knee procedure, and you wake up and find out it's a microfracture surgery you had. And at that time, a microfracture surgery took the careers of Chris Webber, Penny Hardaway, Jamal Mashburn,
Yeah.
Allen Houston. It's a surgery that they don't even do anymore, and you didn't necessarily know that was the type of surgery you were putting yourself into.
Yeah, until they, you get in there and they see that it's holes in your cartilage that they got to fill, and at the time, the only thing that they kind of do it on older folks.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? That's where it really came from, older folks. But at the time, it microfracture surgery, so it extended the months, it extended everything, and I just never was the same after that.
2-year recovery. Once you kind of get back to trying to be who you were, because your game was, like you said, you were more that new age of you're big, but you're a guard. You're a high flyer. You can handle the ball. You're coming off pick and rolls. You're making decisions. But if you got a knee that doesn't agree with what your mind is doing, what was that like?
Yeah, it's different. Like, my mind had a mentality that my body couldn't
Live up to.
Mm-hmm. And it was starting to come into that age in the NBA where you're not keeping the veteran guys who got an IQ or who can still play, but they might not be the athletic version of themselves, but they still can play the game. That transition was kind of going. It was starting to get super young. So it was just hard. And, I probably fought maybe 2 years longer than I should have fought trying to play. Wasted a lot of time and money. If I go back on it, I would have been done when I left Portland and kind of got my mind right as somebody to do something else. But, it's just nothing you can really do when your body kind of shut down. I didn't lift weights or do weights until I was my 3rd year in the league. Like, Cleveland made me start going to the weight room every day. Like, I put in the work. Trust me, I was in the gym all the time putting in the work, but I didn't know that the weight room go hand in hand with
Well, shit, there wasn't no motherfucking weight room in LA.
the courtroom. No, it wasn't.
There wasn't a weight room.
No, it really was.
Yeah, there wasn't, bro. There wasn't no training area. There was a fucked up junior college gym.
Yeah, but I'm from East St. Louis, so they didn't really let you go in the weight rooms. Something bad had happened. You know what I'm saying? Like, it wasn't. I never grew up in a program in high school where they had a program where started you on weights and all that stuff, kind of teach you how to go.
You just play basketball.
Maybe if I went to college, I probably got, what I'm saying, definitely would have got to it, but, I went straight to the league. So
Yeah, can I get a thank you from you?
For what?
I've recently seen the Rookie All-Star game. You know how many points you got off me that game, dog?
Yeah, you work for me.
Oh, I didn't know I was working for you that day, but it sure looked like it. It sure looked like I was employed by Darius Miles that game because I was passing you the ball every time.
All
dog.
the time.
Cooking. How many points you
I'm
finished
going to put
with?
myself in a position.
I'm surprised he didn't win MVP.
Nah, man, we lost.
I know, but
that's why I ain't.
Steve Francis.
Everybody who lose.
Oh, he was on the sophomore team?
Yeah, he was on Steve Francis on the sophomore team.
Yeah, everybody who lose.
Barron too.
The winner team get the MVP.
You was
Like,
balling.
You was killing them?
You had
Yeah,
all the
that's good.
highlights.
Yeah, I had about 10 dunks.
Mm.
Yeah.
About 6 came from me. That's why I brought
I mean,
it
I
up.
don't think you guys get the credit. Obviously, the team I played for later in the 2000s, then we were coined Lob City. Y'all motherfuckers was really throwing lobs though.
Yeah, we was. I think, like I say, I think the fans kind of loved the way we played.
Style, yeah.
We played. We competed. We
Played
wasn't
hard.
scared. You know what I'm saying? We was all out there trying to prove ourselves, from our best player all the way to our worst player. So, I think that was just the big key to everything of how we rock. And I think that's how we got a fan base to get to the point of this. Because, a lot of these fans, it's 25 years from now, but a lot of these fans just started being fans 25 years. We got drafted in 2000.
I credit you guys for kind of starting that real Clipper fan base.
Yeah.
Because there wasn't no Clipper fan base. Because I came right after you left. Right after you left, I went to and we went back to winning 17 games. We was dog shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But we still had a loyal You guys had built a loyal fan base, and year by year, there started becoming more fans. And then when I went back in 2013, 12, we took the NBA over with CP and Blake and DJ and JJ and me and Jamal. But I credit you guys in that 2000s for kind of building that foundation, because the Clipper fan base wasn't shit before you guys got there.
The beginning of that our rookie year, it was nobody. That was like
the whole what was the semi-pro? The Flint Tropics.
Yeah.
Hey, I hate my fucking style, dog. Who did this, dog?
I didn't.
Yeah.
Yes, she did.
It was nobody in that motherfucker, but we started filling up by the end of the year, we started filling up the lower bowl.
Half, yeah.
And, it went from there.
Yeah. They was like the Flint Tropics at first, about 18 people in the stands.
Like, but people like Kadeem Hardison, Penny
Marshall. Yeah, you had your loyal followers.
Billy
Crystal.
There was like old faithfuls that we seen every game. Yeah, they was in there repping for us.
So he was guaranteed to get a kiss from Penny Marshall on the lips
but
every time he played.
The one thing I did love, though, is just that LA loved y'all.
Yeah.
LA loved you and Q and that whole team, but particularly you and Q kind of stood to the front of what the Clippers stood for at that time.
Yeah. I think it just like, us celebrating, it kind of put the label on us. That's why folks kind of rock with it.
Tommy John's have changed the game. Their underwear are the most comfortable I've ever worn. They're silky soft, breathable, and lightweight. If you don't believe me, check the waistband. Ever since Tommy John has been sending me products, it's all I've been wearing. They're the true MVP in the underwear game. What are some of the problems that other underwear brands give you that Tommy John doesn't? These things let my balls breathe. And that's the most important thing. They hold them nice and tight, but they can also breathe. So get you some. Double down with comfort on Tommy John and get 25% off your first order right now at TommyJohn.com/smoke with the promo code SMOKE. Save 25% at TommyJohn.com/smoke. I'll see you there.
You ever had one of those moments when you want to elevate your night? Maybe it's a dinner with friends or a celebration that calls for something extra? That's where Grand Marnier comes in. You probably heard of it. But have you tried the signature drink? The Grand Margarita. It's the twist of a classic margarita. It has the smooth richness of Grand Marnier's cognac. And combined with orange liqueur, a bit of citrus, and just the right amount of sweetness, with a taste like that, it's perfect for any occasion. Whether you're chilling at the crib or out with friends, a Grand Marg remixes a regular cocktail into something extraordinary. Don't just settle for a good cocktail when you can have something grand. It's about making your next drink one to remember. So when you're making your next margarita, remix it and make it grand with Grand Marnier. Grand Marnier liqueur, 40% alcohol by volume, 80 proof. 2025 Campari America, New York, New York. Drink with style, drink responsibly. Bro, that's some 95s you rocking?
Yes, sir. Better late than never. Couldn't afford them in high school, but I can now.
How much they hit you for?
Couple hundred.
Let me check that out. I'm about to get those.
Whether you're hunting for the latest drops you may have missed or investing in the grails, StockX is where you need to be.
And they don't just do sneakers. We're talking about watches, collectibles, electronics. StockX got it all.
StockX gives you global access and transparent pricing. A marketplace that keeps it 100 every time. That's what StockX is bringing to the game.
Stay fresh with StockX.
The NBA playoffs are heating up, and it's hard to believe the Eastern and Western Conference Finals are already here. I don't know about y'all, but I've been glued to the TV watching these games. And when I'm watching these games, I've also been playing DraftKings Pick 6. For the playoffs, I've teamed up with DraftKings to bring you guys all closer to the action. All new players can play $5 and get $50 in bonus picks. Playing is easy. Just pick at least 2 players and pick if they'll have more or less of a stat. Download the Pick 6 app now. Use my promo code SMOKE when signing up. DraftKings. The crown is yours.
In 2004, you started The Perfect Score with Chris Evans, a.k.a. Captain America, and Scarlett Johansson.
Yeah.
The movie's about kids that find out the way to cheat on the SAT is based on young Stak. Can you talk about it?
Yeah, I didn't even really want to do that movie. Like, to be real with you, I didn't want to, because, like I say, country boy, LA is so busy and it's such a different world. Like, soon as the season was over with, I was on the first thing smoking. Back home to kind of get that normal, sit in the yard, play some spades, you know what I'm saying, just chill. So I had to go back to LA to do the audition. You know what I'm saying? So my agent trying to get me to go back. He was like, yeah, it's for this amount of money and so forth on. And I'm like, yeah, I'm cool. I don't really want to do it. He was like, nah, you need to do it. The producer's a big fan of y'all's. He needs you to do it. So I flew back to LA. I came and I just bullshitted the audition. Like, yeah, what you want me to read? By this, all right. And I'm out. He called me back a few days later, like, yeah, you got the part. And he was like, but you got to go to Vancouver for like a month and a half and shoot your part. So it's like, it's finna take my summer away. So I flew to Vancouver and I stayed in Vancouver for about a month and a half. And I did the movie. Like when I was out there, Halle Berry was doing a movie. That was the first Jason versus Freddy. They was doing that out there. A lot of production was out there, especially with Paramount. And yeah, I pulled it off.
Would you do another one?
Yeah, it got to be the right role.
Yeah.
It got to make sense. The right production. Like, like that was Paramount. It was first, like the red carpet was laid all the way out. They very professional. Had a ball, you know what I'm saying, with them. The Scarlett was like the youngest one. She was like 17 or 16 or something like that. But Chris, everybody else, they was cool.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I was big on what was it? The Superman show.
Avengers.
No, it wasn't Avengers.
Marvel.
No, it wasn't Marvel. It was Smallville. So the producer of Smallville was the producer of the movie. So, I was watching Smallville, so, we related on that end, so it was real dope. I'm glad I did it now because, my kids get a big kick out of it.
Yeah.
Other people get a kick out of it. We did Van Wilder.
Oh yeah, that was dope.
Yeah, we did.
That was
Van
at
Wilder
UCLA,
too.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We did Van Wilder too. That was dope.
Yeah.
We did Artless. We did One-on-One with Kyra Pratt. You know what I'm saying? That was dope.
No, y'all was killing
Just
it.
being out here in LA, like everybody who picked us was like, yeah, I'm a big Clipper fan, so they asked us to come and do it.
I just remember every time I went to
fine.
Fox Hills, somehow I saw this nigga every time I went to Fox Hills. He would just happen to be in Fox Hills. Him and Q.
Yeah, we used to mess with the shoe store because they in there selling Jordans, and me and Q would be in there with some Jordans that they don't got.
And Farouk was in Fox Hills Mall too. Farouk was in Fox Hills Mall too.
Farouk was in Fox Hills too, so you definitely gonna get that good Walker. You know what I'm saying?
Walker and them pro clubs.
The Walker.
Them pro clubs.
That good Walker. And they had a spot up there we used to eat at all the time, the little noodle joint.
Oh, in the food
fix
court.
with the sticks
Mm-hmm.
and all that stuff.
Scrape it all.
Yeah, they scrape it up.
That shit was fire. Yeah.
Yeah.
They used to fry it and put it all on.
Had the
and
sticks,
do it,
make
and
it with
go
the
all
stick with
around
the
the
noodles
fryer,
and
then they
shit.
scrape it
Yeah.
on your plate.
Yeah, that was
that
my
shit might
spot
still
right
be
there.
All right, quick hitters, man. First thing to come to mind, let us know. Top 5 big man dunkers of all time.
Big man dunkers?
Well, you were a big man, though. You were 6'10", so you was in the big man category, too.
Oh, well, Kemp.
Yeah.
I would say Blake Griffin, Aaron Gordon, special pick.
What about the dude that was drafted right in front of you?
Stromile?
Stromile.
Stromile was. Who else would I say?
What about you?
Oh, with me in it?
Yeah, I mean, I don't see why not.
Yeah, I think I'm.
Didn't you lead the league in dunks?
No, I was behind Shaq.
Close,
but
but right.
Shaq.
Behind Shaq.
Yeah.
So you was right up there.
Well, I put me in there.
Yeah, as you should.
As you should. One album on repeat right now.
I've been listening to that Kendrick. I ain't gonna even lie.
GNX.
Yeah.
Shout out GNX. Shout out the boy too though. Shout out Drake. Them niggas ain't paying us for nothing. We shout out both of them. We ain't in that.
Guilty
pleasure.
pleasure.
But I got a Future little mix, little playlist that I made. My Future out. So
yeah.
Future, my guy.
Pluto. Guilty pleasure.
I don't know. I got old, man. So I don't really.
You don't feel guilty about it no more?
Yeah. It's like, with.
Childhood crush. Who's your childhood crush coming up?
Man, Neil Long, Halle Berry.
The short hair chick from Total.
Man. Jada Pinkett. It's a lot of them. It's a long list of
We had a good era coming up. We had a lot to look at coming up.
You coming to LA?
We had a lot to look at.
What was it like meeting Because again, I know your personality. You don't really fan out. But what was it like meeting the stars in LA that you kind of seen growing up?
It was crazy. Neil Long actually stayed right down the street from me when I moved to Marina Del Rey.
Couldn't have been me.
Seeing her walk by, like, man, that's Neil Long.
Yeah, that couldn't have been me.
Right. But yeah, everybody was. Excuse me, Ms. Long, you got some sugar? Yeah. Everybody was cool. You know, I really ain't a big starstruck person. Like, it got to be certain people, like Mike Jordan, Mike Jack.
5 dinner guests, dead or alive. You plus 5, having a nice dinner with some cannabis and some cocktails.
I love to have dinner with Tupac. Love to have dinner with Biggie. I love to sit down with Obama. I love to sit down with Mike Jack and Muhammad Ali.
I just knew you was gonna throw moms at that table.
Huh?
I just knew you was gonna throw moms at that table.
Oh, she always on my
Yeah.
mind. So.
I just knew you was gonna throw moms at that
dinner
table.
every night I go to sleep.
Yes, sir. If you could see one person on this show, who would it be?
But
you have to help us get your answer on the show.
I gotta help too?
Yeah. You just said I'm working for you. Now you working for me, nigga.
Well, I love to see on y'all show. That'll be dope. It's 2 people. I think Mike Jordan will be a dope.
I'm gonna keep texting.
person.
I'm gonna keep texting.
Have him on your show. I think Jay-Z will be a dope person to have on y'all show.
2 monsters,
We'll be
2
honored.
heavy hitters.
We'll be honored. For
Well,
sure.
D, man, we appreciate your time and definitely just wanted to give you your flowers again. I saw your journey. You're younger than me, but you were ahead of me, and be able to see what you did for the game, and unfortunately how it had to end, but the way you hit rock bottom, where we were able to reinvent yourself. And like you said, for your kids, for your family, what you and Q were doing now, you guys are the real OGs of this shit. You know, you guys came before us and kind of showed us what to do, and then we kind of came in and, you know, inspired a lot of other people. But we owe you guys a lot for kind of laying that blueprint, and just really proud of you, man. Like I said, it's a lot of people don't make it out of the shit you went through. I mean, these people got the kind of the PG version of what you had to bring yourself out of, but knowing you for a long time and knowing where your heart is and what kind of man you are, man, it just makes me proud to say that, you know, you're our brother, man, and we appreciate you.
Oh, man.
And also, let me touch on that too. You know, people always give us our props on the podcast space and being creators, but y'all was one of the first to do it. Y'all somebody who inspired us.
Appreciate
you know what I'm saying?
that.
So we want to give you your props on that space too, because a lot of people tend to give us our props.
Didn't I
and being
just say
in this
that?
space, huh?
Didn't I just say that?
I'm just saying a lot of people
Oh,
don't.
okay.
A lot of people. This is what I'm saying. Listen to me. A lot of people give us our props everywhere we go, and to try to give us a props like we started it.
But we gave it to y'all, though.
Yeah, but we know where we seen it first. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So I just wanted to clarify that on our podcast while you here.
For sure.
Well, I just say, man, everything been great for me ever since I stopped hanging around Jack, and you know, we've been all uphill since then.
Yeah, for sure.
E-House? Oh, hold up, bro.
Hold on. We gotta give you some important gifts.
Appreciate it, man. Appreciate it.
That's a wrap, man. Give it up for Darius Miles.
Yes, sir. My brother, Black Attack. Nobody I hate more than him.
Hey, he said my life has been so much better since I
My
stopped
worst
fucking with
friend.
Jack.
This is the worst friend I've ever had in my life. His name is Darius Miles. He's the only person that calls me with insults and hangs up.